This is Vijayakumar. In this video, I'll try to explain HTML CSS selectors. In CSS, the selectors are used for selectors are patterns that are used for selecting an element for styling that you want. So some of the selectors with examples and description, it is like this. So we have a selector called dot class. So we can define our own class with some name. So if you use that class name in your HTML design, which will select the element that comes under that class, dot class. So dot class intro selects the elements with class equal to intro. And then we have class 1 dot class 2, name 1 dot name 2, which will select that class 1 class 2 or name 1 name 2 elements which both name 1 and name 2 and set with its class attributes. And dot class 1 dot class 2 dot name 1 dot name 2 are the examples. Selects all the elements with name 2 that are descendants of the elements with name. So similarly, we have another selector called hash ID, which ID means it is going to be a user-defined one. So hash first name means it selects the element with ID name as first name. So there are so many patterns or the selectors which we can. So there is an element, and the element can be any of our HTML element, that can be T, which selects all the elements within that paragraph. So this is what some of the, see, you can have element comma element, the division comma, so under the division the paragraph elements can be selected. Selects all div elements and all p elements. So when we see an example, we can better understand what the selectors are exactly going to do. So here we can see an example of a dot class, that intro that I told. So we can define our own dot class file with some name. So here this is an example which is with intro, the dot class file. So which is going to have another variable called hash last name. So intro comma hash last name is going to be, see that dot class intro will be used to select the identifier hash last name. Last name, the element with the last name will be selected, and h1 ending h1 comma p is selected, division comma p, division greater than p. So all these are some of the patterns which we use to select the elements for our CSS styling by using a selectors. So you can use such many selectors for defining a styling CSS. Next, so you can see one simple example what exactly it is going to do. So here whatever the element you select, which is going to be selected in that, so here you can see after writing the dot class or selecting all the elements by using a selectors, when you run, you can click a selector to see which elements that get selected in that result. So here if you click on any element, so that will show the element which is selected in the result. So this is how when the web design, when you use HTML CSS, that is cascading style sheets, you can use selectors for selecting or specifically designing your web pages. So we have number of selectors that will select the particular part of your web page that you can see here. There are many examples. In that, one simple example is how dot class can be used, that is explained here. So with all these, see, input hash invalid input, so all these are all like number of selectors that we are defining in this particular dot class file. So when you use this intro with any of this, see here h1 division class is equal to intro used. So now all that selects whichever the element I select here. So which elements are used to select in the output, that will be shown from defined by your intro class. So this is This is what the HTML selectors will do. HTML selectors will do in CSS. Thank you.